Hey everyone, it is Kim and Celeste here for another episode in our web series. And today we will be talking about a topic that is extremely important in anyone's marriage, and that is finances.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're already married, then you know the deal. You know that finances are extremely crucial, and it is also extremely important for you and your husband to be on the same page with your finances. Unfortunately, finances are one of the things that can actually be a downfall in someone's marriage and can even lead to divorce. And that's something that no one ever wants to see. So today we want to tackle a topic within that of finances that tends to creep into our marriages, and we want to not only tackle it but kind of diffuse it and problem solve it at the same time.
So what we really want to talk about is a controversial aspect of the finances portion, and that is secret accounts.
Secret accounts.
Now, ladies, we want you to consider two things. Is it okay for us to have secret accounts? And is my money only my money?
Right.
I know that when we were just getting married and we sat down and talked to women who have been married for many years, the seasoned wives as we call them, they would say, oh, you should keep some money on the side for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Or they would say in the Caribbean culture, make sure you have that secret susu hand.
Yeah.
But let's think about that. Is that good advice?
Is it good advice? The answer to that question is no, it's not good advice. And I know a lot of people may not agree, but before I go any further, I do want to reference a scripture in Ephesians 5:31, and it simply talks about a man and a woman joining together to become one flesh. Mm-hmm. Now, when they talk about that one flesh, that means that everything comes together, including your finances. Mm-hmm. And there's no way that you can be on one accord if you have a secret. And so that counts not even only in finances. Mm-hmm. You can't be in one accord with your husband if you are keeping secrets from him.
So we're not saying that those women didn't mean well by the advice that they gave you. Let me just make that very clear, because these are our grandmothers, these are our moms, these are the matriarchs of the family. And so they know what they're talking about. However, what they're talking about is based on their own personal experience. And I'm not saying that you will never deal with that same situation, but what I don't want you to do is set your mind up to believe that you can't trust your husband since the beginning. You're already setting yourself up for not trusting him.
Yeah.
So you have to really evaluate the back end of things. They mean well, but they're really saying, maybe it's not a good idea for you to trust your husband with your finances. So what you should do to be proactive about it, because sometimes life happens, speak great things about finances in your marriage.
Absolutely.
Completely communicate about everything financial. Mm-hmm. So the bills, the future plans, everything that comes down to the financial future of your family should be discussed. What's a really good example of something around the lines of like getting advice from loved ones when it comes to marriage? Mm-hmm. When they tell you like your first year of marriage is going to be absolutely horrible, or expect to hate your husband afterwards, or like your whole marriage is going down the drain after the first year. Like, I hate that because it's just kind of like, you are accepting the fact that the first year of your marriage is going to be hard based on someone else's personal experience. Mm-hmm. Someone else's experience doesn't have to be your experience. Mm-hmm. And so with the secret accounts, even though they mean well, it's not necessarily true for you.
Yeah, it's true.
And you don't have to accept it as true for yourself. The minute you accept it as being true, the minute you're like, I have to keep a secret account because my husband can't be trusted.
Right.
And so you're already setting yourself up for failure in this area. Mm-hmm. So instead of doing that, speak positive about your finances, communicate with your husband so you don't have to give a reason to not trust him financially. If we're talking about how we're going to pay this or where we're allocating funds into this, then I know and I'm aware. And if I'm aware, then we're on the same page. and it's not a secret.
Right.
I have a pretty awesome testimony when it comes to trusting my husband around the areas of finances. I was very irresponsible. I'll be honest. I'll be real. I was very irresponsible with some student loans that I had. I had $38,000 worth of student loans that I completely ignored for years because I just kind of figured it'll go away. Big mistake. We're on vacation and all of a sudden we're trying to pay for our food and our card declines. And when we call our bank, it turns out that they went into my account and they took $4,000 because I neglected to pay my student loan. And I was so frustrated and I just didn't really know what to do. And I remember talking with the agents on the line and they did not want to work with me for anything. So my husband decided that he was going to take over the situation. He spoke with the agent and when he was done, they came up with a decision. Now, I am not going to lie, ladies. I was very upset with that decision because he decided that we would pay $1,500 a month towards my student loan in order to, pay it off completely.
Right.
So they made this agreement. We didn't talk about it, and I wasn't happy about it. The good thing about it was that we committed to doing it, and in a year and a half, we were able to pay off that student loan completely. So at first, I didn't tell him about it because I didn't really trust him to handle it, and because I was irresponsible. So it's two things there going on. But the fact that he stepped up to the plate, handled the situation, even though I didn't like the process in between, at the end, I was grateful because I was out of debt.
Right.
$38,000. So why keep secrets when it can really benefit you as an individual or you as a family in the end? It's all about communication. It's all about how you can come together and strategize to make better decisions and to make sure that your financial future is in a good place.
So we want to offer some practical tools that you can use as a wife to help build the financial situation in your home, regardless of where it is right now. So the first thing is budgeting. This is extremely important. When money comes in, I've learned myself with my husband that it's great to know where every penny goes. A lot of times when you just swipe, when you just spend without thinking, without realizing, and then next thing you know, 3-4 days later, you look in your account and there's $20. And it's just like, what happened? And this can be prevented if you budget for every dime, every penny. Make sure you know where everything is going. And in doing so, you'll realize that you have more than you think you have. The second tool is family financial meetings. This is wonderful because it's you and your husband and your children, if need be, working together. A lot of times, I know with my husband and myself, I can create a budget and then ask him to kind of chip in, and then he changes it all up completely, and I'm just like, that's not what you were supposed to do. But if you sit down together as a family and you guys both work through, like, what do we need to pay for? What can we forego this pay period? What are the needs in the house? You kind of work through it together so that you're both on the same page when you go through that pay week or that pay period. The third tool is allowances. Yes. So I love this one. This is personally my favorite because it gives a little wiggle room and a little fun in your finances. I don't like to think that finances need to be completely strict all the time. And when I say that, what I mean is that everything shouldn't be bills, bills, bills. You're not working just to pay bills. That's no fun. So when I say allowances, I mean, if you and your husband can afford it, give 100 to you, 100 to your husband, and you guys both have separate accounts, not secret accounts, but separate accounts. Not secret, where you can use that money however you wish. So if it's a female, the wife, you want to buy lipstick and makeup and you don't want it to interfere with the rent and the bills, that's where that separate account would come in handy. And you and your husband kind of come together in that family meeting and you discuss how much you guys can afford to give each other separately. And And the last thing is something that Kim mentioned earlier, and that is declaring positive things over your finances. There is so much power in words. I can't even express how much power there is in the things that you say. So I would suggest start declaring positive things. Say things like, my finances are blessed. As simple as that. You want to look in your account, and instead of being depressed at what's there, you say, no, my finances are blessed. If you are a Christian and you tithe and you give offerings, I am a tither and giver of offerings, and therefore everything that comes into my household financially is blessed. Everything will be multiplied because I give my 10% to the Lord. So declare these things over your finances, over your bank account. If this is something, for a while actually, my husband and I, we had a declaration wall, and a few of the declarations had to do with finances, and every morning, and specifically this was a time when both of us weren't working, so we needed this in order to increase our faith. And every morning we would declare these things over our finances. And guess what? Right now we're both working very good jobs and we're in really good positions, and I believe it's because we declared what we needed to over our finances.
And of course, for the single, dating, engaged ladies, we want to leave something with you too.
Absolutely.
It's never too early to start discussing finances, especially if you're engaged. Like, you should be having those kind of discussions. And one really big thing, ladies, is so simple. Just be observant. I know when you're dating, we have that rose-colored glasses on, and we're just, everything is beautiful and everything is wonderful, and it is. But just take some time to look at your partner's spending habits. See, if they're frugal. See if they like to spend money. See if they like to party. Just be attentive. Pay attention to what's going on there.
So to conclude, do not let finances be a dividing factor in your marriage, because quite frankly, it does not have to be. And also, we've given this advice before, and we're going to continue giving it again because it is always relevant. Pray. Pray for your finances. Pray over your finances. Pray that your husband is able to lead you guys in the right direction concerning your finances. And also, I challenge you, if you have trouble in this area, pray that you don't feel the need to keep a secret account. Pray that trust would be developed within you so that you don't feel like you need to have something that your husband does not know about. So all in all, once again, thank you guys for watching so much. We do hope that this is a blessing, that this is an encouragement, that this helps you in one way or the other. And if there's another method or tactic that you use that you've seen positive results with in your marriage, leave a comment below. Let us know. Let the other women in this community know. And we can't wait to read all about it. So until next time,
bye guys.
Adios.